This is Zach from Punk Rock Crystals. Today we're going to be looking at some cool landscape or picture jasper. There are certain kind of jaspers found. A lot of them are found in the southwestern area, or actually I think it's more just the western area of the United States, even up as far as Utah and Oregon. But it's the types of jaspers that have blues and browns in them that look like scenes. It'll look like a desert scene with a sky in the background when you look at them. And then we're going to look at the ones I've got here in my collection and see if we can make something cool out of ours. See if we can get some of those pictures to look right in ours. So stick around. You'll want to subscribe to the channel if you like videos like this. We're going to keep making cool stuff like this, and we need your support to do that. So if you want to support us and subscribe to the channel, then that would really be great. Otherwise, stick around and we'll take a look at some cool rocks. Thanks. Hi everybody, we're looking at landscape or picture jaspers today. The place I get these is online at the gem shop. Check out, they've got a lot of cool different varieties, of which I've tried to try out probably just about 3 or 4 total. But that's definitely a good place to get them online. I've seen them at other places online that don't seem to have quite as big of a selection. And you know, it's a really good price. For about $10 you can usually get 2 or 3 pounds from the gem shop, which is enough for you to get that into your collection, saw it, or do whatever you want to do with it, and at least kind of gives you that experience of this is what picture jasper or landscape jasper is all about, and here's what you can do with it. This is just a regular landscape jasper. Again, I got this at the gem shop. I've already cut into it, but you can see what it looks like on the outside. It's a complete mystery. And when I cut into it, I took my first cut here on the side to see what can I make of this. And my first cut gave us this awesome sun pattern. Probably upside down there. Look at this. See that? It's got a cool sun right there in the middle, which I've seen in some of these before. It's really cool to have a scene with the sun setting on it. I don't have at the bottom there a lot of good you know, land, but the sun up in the sky area, that looks like something I could kind of work with. So I was like, well, I wonder what's going on farther into this one. So I took another cut, and now it's kind of a crazy sun. So while it is cool still, I don't know if this is like a supernova, or I don't really know. If I hold them together, they look kind of like some crazy eyes or something. So I don't know if that's something I could do with it, but this was a cool example to start with, to see kind of what these different picture jaspers can do. Now another one I got from the gem shop is called African Queen Picture Jasper. And I'm going to show you this piece right up front. This is what the outside looks like before you cut it. So it's pretty uneven. You can't really see the face very well, but I see some cool dendrite patterns here at the bottom. So that's what's going to maybe look like trees or something when we get those cut. So I didn't know how to cut this one either, but I'll show you what I came up with when I cut this one. It's actually pretty neat. The cool part about the landscape or picture jasper, and a lot of people do this with a lot of the rocks they get, is they're like, what can I see in this? A lot of people see some faces in their rocks, or they see things and you're looking at it going, I don't quite see that, but they're like, no, I'm sure that looks like an owl to me. And you're like, okay, maybe it's an owl, maybe not. But it takes a lot of imagination sometimes. This is 2 pieces close together. I actually cut them one off of the other one, and you can see that it's got like a cool scene. You can see how it goes up in the sky. This African Queen Picture Jasper is going to be more browns and tans throughout, so it's not going to give us that blue sky pattern. But you can see those cool little snail guys at the bottom, each going away from each other. I know it's my imagination seeing that, but still it's pretty neat. But just looking at one of them, you can definitely see how it looks like a ground on the bottom. Looks like maybe a landscape with kind of a dusty setting in the background because of those tans. So it is a cool piece. Definitely a cool, neat little design there at the bottom, though I'm not sure that this is quite what I've got in mind if I think about like a landscape picture jasper. Let's see what else we've got. All right, this one is called an Antelope Valley Picture Jasper. Again, I got this at the gem shop, and you can see some blues here at the top, so that's going to be likely our sky pattern. We see some light areas here at the bottom. You can even see how it gets lighter at the bottom. So this was a piece that I was really excited to cut because I was like, I see the sky area, I can see the bottom. Let's see what it looks like once I got it cut. I can do a quick reveal on this one. And that is what we're talking about when we think about these landscape picture jaspers. You can see the hills or mountains there at the bottom. You can see the blue sky up here at the top. So it's really a cool kind of a pattern. And the cool thing about once you do these, you start getting one like this. I mean, I can see on the side, I can take a lot of slabs off of this one, and each one's gonna have a similar but slightly different scene. So you can see it goes back farther into the stone. I could probably cut maybe 3 or 4 more slabs out of this and get a cool scene out of each one. And that's kind of what I've done. I mean, this is the other half of that rock right here. So you can see I've already started getting some of those other patterns in there. And again, it's very similar, but different. Here's another full slab that I took off of there. You can see it's the same thing. It's got kind of that cool mountainy texture all throughout with the blue skies. And then when you look at the other side, it's got the same thing. Now there's some saw marks or saw scuffs there. That's not very cool, but I can get those grinded out. But really overall, that one is one that I'm really happy with. It's cool because you can put them together and maybe get a scene. Another variety we have is called Blue Mustang Picture Jasper. This to me looks a lot like the Antelope Valley Jasper, and I think a lot of them come from the same areas of Utah or Oregon. So that's what we're going to look at here. It's very similar to the last one. I just have the slab here because I've already cut this one. I did not take a before video. Actually, I might have a before video that I haven't posted yet. Let me look through and see. But you can clearly see the land, the hills, maybe even a butte sticking up there, like you're in the American Southwest, looking at a desert scene with that beautiful sky there. And when I turn it, you can see more of the same. So that one really turned out nice with the land and the sky in the background. Again, I could imagine this with like a wooden frame behind it, just a solid wood frame and background to kind of make it stand out. But that really is a cool scene there. I can really feel myself getting into this picture and into this image. And that's the cool thing about this, is whenever you slice it, it's going to be a little bit different than the one you sliced before. This is a piece that's just called Landscape Jasper. And again, I got this one from the gem shop. It was about, I don't know, 7 pounds to start with. It was a huge chunk. You can see it's got kind of a cool bluish area there with browns. So I can see already where I could get kind of a sky-like pattern out of that. The problem is it's on both the top and bottom. So I'm not sure exactly what to do with that. Do I want to try to cut it so that it highlights one side or the other? I haven't had a lot of success, so I started cutting on the back side of it, and you can see it's got that same strip of blue or sky right in the middle. You can turn it upside down. Either way, you're going to get that sky in the middle, which kind of frames it like you're looking, you know, with rocks on the top and bottom, but it's harder for me to picture what is that going to look like. I've taken some slabs off of it. Here was one of the end cuts I did, where you could see on the very end where the blue was kind of fading away. Not a lot I can do with this one. Maybe I'll put that one in the tumbler. Again, I took a slab off, but again, I've got this blue sky right in the middle of this one. So is it a beautiful rock? Yes, it's a very beautiful rock. This side has a gorgeous mountain right there, but then it's got that other land right on top of it, which is really hard for me to kind of get a picture out of. I even took one of those slabs and I did cut it to see, can I make this look like the other cool one with the sky, with the land at the bottom? I just don't have enough sky to really be happy with that. So you never quite know what you're going to get and what the style is going to be as you get these, just like any rocks you get. But they're fun to look at, they're fun to cut, and they're fun to see what you can do with them. And again, thanks for joining me today on Punk Rock Crystals. If you enjoyed what you watched, again, leave me some comments. If there's a certain type of jasper like this that you like to work with, that you've seen, or if you know of a good source to get these types of things. Like I say, you can find these for maybe $4 to $8 per pound. Isn't ridiculous to find them at that price. So it's a kind of price that's accessible to people. And they even look cool tumbled too. I don't have any with me right now, but looking especially at the African Queen Picture Jasper, the gem shop sells some of them tumbled as well, and they are super cool, polished and tumbled. So we'll take a look at some of those sometime too. But I really thank you for joining me today. This is Zach at Punk Rock Crystals. Rock on, everybody.